Hi, Foolish Young Nerds. So today I'm in my backyard because Ryan gave you a tour of his amazingly magical backyard, and this is how insignificant mine is compared to his. So yes, it's that time of week again. It's Friday. I've actually properly planned this video, so I think you should be pretty impressed. I'm impressed with myself because I always forget that, it's Friday. Alright, so this week is story week, and I honestly lead a very boring life, so I'm probably going to be telling a few stories. So here we go. So this one time at band camp, I could tell you the time when me and Axay were actually separated at birth, even though he's 8 years older than me. Whatever. But instead, I thought I'd tell you mall stories, because a lot of crazy stuff happens at our mall since the incident. So here's the story of the creepy mall cop. At our mall, there are these really creepy mall cops who follow you around and, monitor everything you're doing to make sure you don't get into, any tomfoolery. Tomfoolery. Anyways, so there was this one that would not leave my friend group alone. There's a limit of the amount of people that can be in a group before the group is, deemed unsafe or whatever. So it's 6 people, I think, is the limit. I think 4 people is recommended, but 6 people is the limit. And we had about 12 people, so we were just walking around the mall, but we weren't doing anything bad. We were just walking around the mall and talking, and basically we weren't being a nuisance to anyone. We were just walking and talking and hanging out. Me, my friend group's not really the type that causes trouble. But anyways, so this mall cop, this middle-aged man who starts following us around, and he's like, you have more than the limit, right? And we're like, well, yeah, but we're not being a problem. We could split up if you really want, but we'd like to hang out together. And he was like, no, whatever. So he let us hang out, but he still was following us everywhere we went. He was just there. And one time we sat down in the food court, and he told us to get up because we weren't eating anything. We were just sitting there, but there was no one in the food court. So we left, and then we went to this other place, and it's meant for sitting. It was this round kind of seating area, and we just kind of sat there, and we just were talking and not being a nuisance again. And he was like, you can't sit here. And we were like, this is a place that you're supposed to sit. Obviously we didn't say that because you can get kicked out of the mall for back talking to them. So we were like, okay, fine. So we got up and started walking again, and then we just spent the whole rest of the time walking around. This one time we were all waiting for my friend's mom to come pick her up, so we were in the front of the mall, and we were waiting by the door so that my friend wouldn't have to wait alone while her mom was coming to pick her up. So we were just waiting there, again, not being a nuisance, just sitting there quietly, talking a little, laughing, whatever. We weren't being a nuisance though. And he comes over and he's like, you guys have to get out of this area. And we're like, oh, well, we're waiting for our friend's mom to pick her up. And he was like, it doesn't matter, you have to get out of this area. And we were like, okay. So we were like, all right, bye. And we all said our goodbyes to our friend. And my friend, she's really, really funny, but she does tend to get into trouble with teachers and things because she kind of is this sassy type, back-talking person. And so, she, muttered under her breath kind of a bad word, but not she didn't say it loud enough so he could hear her, but somehow he did. So he was like, come back here, you with the big mouth. And she was like, me? And he was like, yeah, you. And so she came over there, and he was just like, what did you say to me? And she was like, I didn't say anything. And he was like, you're lying. And she was like, okay, fine. I said something under my breath. What does it matter? And he was like, well, that was disrespectful, and it was back talking, and I'm going to kick you out of the mall. And she was like, oh, okay, go ahead, do it. Because, now she's kind of fired up because she's angry at him. So he kicked her out of the mall. And then here's another terrible part. It was winter, so she was standing at the front of the mall waiting for her mom to pick her up, and he was like, all right, you have to get outside because you're not supposed to be on mall premises. And she was like, okay. So she walks outside. It's freezing cold, snowing outside, and she's just standing there waiting for her mom to come, not doing anything, just standing there. And then he comes outside to her and says, you have to leave the mall premises. You're not allowed on the mall premises. And she's like, really? You're gonna make me leave? And you have to understand about our mall is that it's giant, and to get out, there was a really long walk to get out of the parking lot, and it was winter. So basically he made her walk all the way out there, and then, yeah. So creepy mall cop then. Okay, my one word to describe this week was